We are conditioned to expect emotional healing to look like a movie. A single cathartic cry and the stone shatters. Everything is fixed. But reality rarely cooperates with that script. When your actual, day-to-day progress feels agonizingly slow and mostly invisible, it becomes incredibly frustrating. You start wondering why you aren't there yet. This expectation of a sudden cure creates a massive vulnerability. The moment you have an inevitable off day, your motivation drops. It feels as if you've lost every inch of ground you gained. True emotional transformation occurs quietly. It takes place in the overlooked, completely mundane choices you make on a random Tuesday. Waiting for a cinematic breakthrough sabotages this process. It frames the real, quiet progress you are making as a failure, simply because it isn't loud. Look at the smallest unit of healing. The pause, a momentary breath before a habitual reaction. This space lets you objectively observe behavioral patterns, watching the loop without judgment. Stopping judgment unlocks safe emotional expression. This scales upward, providing the foundation to set healthy boundaries. A firm boundary grows as the downstream result of that single, invisible internal pause. Even with this mechanism in place, you will hit an obstacle. The off day arrives. Your motivation vanishes, exhaustion sets in, and old patterns seem to rush back to the surface. It is easy to view this friction as a sign that the system is broken. But this specific resistance is where you actually forge emotional resilience. This is where you deploy the non-judgmental return. You make the patient choice to pick up your daily practices again, even when your motivation is at zero. This process relies on small efforts and sincere intention, held together by consistency. These interlock, forming a stable foundation. Consistency acts as the multiplier. Integrating those dark, exhausting days into the pattern makes the overall build more robust. Hard days are critical building blocks. Transformation runs on your willingness to return to these practices, again and again. Perfection doesn't enter into it. When you are living through this day by day, the compounding effect of these choices is almost impossible to see. You have to zoom out to measure the real impact. Over months, those imperceptible daily actions have quietly constructed a durable architecture of emotional resilience. This accumulated resilience becomes a deep self-connection, an internal logic that remains intact, even on your worst days. This is the reality of the healing journey. It is built in the quiet, unglamorous moments that no one else ever sees or validates. Your unseen, incremental efforts carry real weight. Keep showing up for yourself, because thousands of these tiny moments eventually gather into a force that carries you forward.